What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. So, we have Coonerian white supremacist agents in blackface like Philip Scott, like Tariq Nasheed, like Yvette Carnell, and all the other black coon content creators that insist, right, that they need to delineate and form a group called FBA in order to protect themselves and fight back from all these African people, right, who said that, you know, we ain't African, talking trash. They said that there's this whole bunch of African people that said that we weren't African. So I said, you know what? You know, maybe there's something to this, right? And I noticed that none of these coons, right, who somehow have the ability to find links of people, you know, in the FBA camp saying, you know, all manners of things, but they can never produce anything, you know, of the sort when it comes to these African people saying that we ain't African as African Americans. So I said, let me do it, huh? Let me do what it is that they don't want to do. Or maybe they say it's happening, but they just can't prove it. So let me see if I can play devil's advocate and prove it. So this took me a long time. All right, let me tell you something. Took me a long time. This video could have been much longer. But I scraped the internet, okay? I was very objective. Very right down the middle, all right? No biases at all. But I found these Africans that said African Americans are not African. I found them, and I'm telling you, they African. I finally found, I'm going to put all the clips of all these clear Africans saying that African Americans are not African, all right? I did the work for these coons who somehow can't come up with the evidence that they like to charge. Because you know what a lot of these coons do, these social media coons? They create arguments that nobody's having. They literally start the argument and pretend to be pissed off about some shit that ain't happening in order to argue back at it. It's like a straw man. They create straw man arguments, right? And a lot of people don't understand the technique of creating straw man arguments because somebody will just watch their video and get secondhand pissed off based off who they idolize or who they worship or who they enjoy to watch. If that person's pissed off, they gonna get pissed off. And now all of a sudden there is a crowd fury of people mad about some shit that they can't prove themselves. They're just taking these coon grifter ass piece of shit white supremacist black agents word for it. All right. So I went and found the evidence. All these goddamn Africans saying that African Americans ain't African. All right. So without further ado, this is Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
No, Black Americans are American. They are not African. The vast majority of Black Americans living here today are American descendants of slavery. And because of this legacy of slavery, their connections to Africa are so distant and they have been severed that they do not have any real connections to it today. Nationality-wise, culture-wise, and everything else, they are American, not African. In fact, even the concept of ethnicity, their ethnicity would be Black American, not some form of African. And no, race does not make them African. Race is a social construct, and it's a pseudoscientific one at that. Not to mention, all human beings have their origins in Africa, depending on how far back we go. So this entire concept of, well, we have to consider the blacks African is just racism. Black Americans are American just like I am an American. I am not a European American. I have literally no connections to Europe at all. I am American, and so are Black Americans. Quit trying to divide people by the color of their skin, and instead, let people identify as they please.
Why are you not African? You're just only American?
Yeah, I'm American.
Okay, explain.
So my most recent descendants are literally from Central America and North America, indigenous Black Americans. They have the same color, the same melanin content, but they are not from Africa. I can't name any country in Africa. What I'm saying is that if I take a test right now, I could say some Italian, some German, some Australian up in there, 13% Ghanaian, 19% Nigerian, like who knows and who cares? But what I'm saying is that my immediate ancestors are American.
So are they Black?
They're black, but they're not African. It's a difference. The whole thing about African booty scratchers and even why Black Americans have been called African booty scratchers is because the white people have classified us all as coming from Africa because we're all black. And that's where the whole like falsified information has come, where we all come from the Atlantic slave trade and all the black people were just shipped here to this country and all over. That's not true. We were already here. Like we were already here lining up every part of the world.
But if what you're saying is true, then you are more Hispanic or Asian than you are black, because before the transatlantic slave trade, there was what they call Paleo Indian, which those individuals.
No, and once again, you're misinformed, and that's that's nice.
I'm not saying that's the only people that were here, but
Yeah,
they
it's
have
not.
Paleo Indians, which the Aztec came from, which the what is it, Aztec, the Inca, those tribes came from what is called Asia to some extent.
What I'm saying is that with the transatlantic Atlantic slave trade, like you've been like misinformed to think that there were only, what do you say, paleo, like white colored Indians essentially that were here. That's not true. There were black people here, or as people say, the Moors or whatever you want to call it. There were black people here indigenously, like they were across the whole world.
This is a call to action to all be one ethnic Black Americans. We are no longer accepting the name African American. We are not African American, and I don't know what Jesse Jackson was thinking back then because we've never really liked the term anyway. What we need to do is on a nationwide level, we need to petition the courts, petition the census, submit what we need to do legally to the government to change our name. We no longer want to be called African American. Cross out African American wherever you can on a form and rewrite either ethnic Black American, ADOS, foundational, whatever you choose, indigenous, Sulan. Do not accept this name anymore. It is time for us to reclaim our identity and call ourselves what we feel comfortable with, so other people cannot come and tether themselves to our struggle, our fight, and our advancement that our ancestors died and struggled for. This is not working for us anymore. So what we need to do again is whenever you can, cross out on a paper. If you can write in ethnic Black American. If you want to do something else, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you about what you choose to call yourself. But do not write or accept African American anymore. Ethnic Black Americans need to rise, unite, and advance in the way that we were chosen to do so.
When it comes to the African Union, which we all discovered after the Essence debacle, which is being ran by a bunch of damn immigrants, probably some Europeans from Europe, and some Africans from Africa. Yeah, y'all, these people took over the Essence Festival to make themselves rich and make us poor over here, trying to tap into our wealth. They are all part of this damn African Union, which has been in existence for the last 12 years. They have a whole website of them colluding with the government, the Congressional Black Caucus, y'all, that has made us the 6th region or the 6th district of Africa. The Congressional Black Caucus and all the previous administrations have colluded and conspired against us here in the indigenous Black American culture to sell us out to now Africa. The Congressional Black Caucus, y'all, who are all immigrants. They are the real diaspora who's supposed to be representing us. When it comes to us, guys, they block everything. Anything for immigrants, it's a go. The African Union, guys, is saying that if we were to get reparations, it should go over there to Africa, and they want to put us over there in Africa so that we can build that up over there. Trying to say that we're part of this diaspora. First of all, our people have been here for millions of years. I said it. We are the indigenous Indians, the Hebrews, the Egyptians, even some of us are Moors, and Israelites, and Jews. We are not from Africa. Now, it was those people over there in Africa that sold their damn people, probably for some wine. It's those people over there in Africa that keeps giving up their own wealth to China, to Germans, to Britain, to France, and to America. And then somehow in their defected little minds, they think that we should go over there, saying that we are the diaspora, which we are not, to build up their country with our reparations? I think not. Now, I don't know how these people think they are representing this African Union. They're representing 45 to 50 million of us over here. But I can tell you now, I didn't sign any documents. We need to vote these people out of Congress, this Congressional Black Caucus, this Al Sharpton, NAACP, Jesse Jackson. These people are not for us. They keep on talking for us, but y'all, something has to happen. We have to take away that label of African American. It was put on us to declassify us from our damn land over here. These doggone Europeans over here make trillions of dollars off of our land over here and then have us paying them taxes when taxes should be paid to us. I'm gonna tell you now, we are all pissed off about it. And it's not gonna end the way that they think. I said it.
Black Americans are not African. Black Americans are the Olmecs. And if you didn't know, the Olmecs are the first civilization on this here planet Earth. The Olmecs date way back pre the pyramids in Egypt. Mind you, our pyramids are older. We have way more pyramids in the Americas than they have in Africa. So y'all stuck with this notion like we from somewhere else. Maybe everybody else is from here. Do me a favor. Google the 12 tribes of Israel. Notice you see the Black Americans, you see the Haitians, the West Indians, the North, the South Americans, you even see the Mexicans. Notice how you do not see Africans on the 12 tribes of Israel. And if black people rule the planet, I hope you know that this here American soil was occupied by black. So y'all just sound ignorant. Y'all just mad because y'all not a part of the lineage. It's okay.
So they would call it Annie Indiga, which meant we the people. And all the tribes started naming themselves, like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we the people, because that was the first line of the Iroquois Constitution. So when the Constitution was set up here, as a remembrance of who they are, most of the Native Americans in their own dialect named the tribe we the people as a group, because we all had to unite to survive.
And attesting to this fact, Congress passed House Resolution 331. The Iroquois Confederation established the United States Constitution.
You know, black Americans ain't even part of the African diaspora, right? But it seems to me that we're the only group that is pressed to put African in front of it, right? Like Caribbeans have more in common than Africans. They always say this. Everybody know this, right? But there's nobody's present for an African Jamaican or an African Haitian or an African Antiguan or an African Bohemian or an African Panamanian or African, I don't know, African Cuban. They get to use Afro-American, Afro-Latino. Afro was a black American term we made up. So you mean to tell me we got to be African Americans, we got to take from Africa, but the Latinos take from us the word Afro, yet they cool with these motherfuckers they're their own thing and they're their own thing, but black Americans got to be fucking African. We got to put African on our shit. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out my face. Get the fuck out my face. It's funny.
I am not an African. I am a black American. What that means is that my entire family has come from America. I am the descendant of people that were slaves. That's what that means when I tell you that I am a black American. That means that the people that have been in my family for generations built this country. That means that my grandfather, who served in World War II, that helped fight and defend this country, and was, by the way, denied GI Bill benefits because he was black, is a part of the history of this country. I am not Haitian. I'm not Nigerian. I am not from any of these other countries. I am a full-blooded 100% Black American. And what that means is that I will speak on Black American culture in any way that I please, but what I will also do is I will not allow for it to continue to be co-opted by Africans who come here with so many more resources than your average Black American does, try to wrap themselves up in our struggle, our oppression, our history, and try to co-opt every space that we have built for ourselves, like they've done in the destruction of the Essence Music Festival. So don't try to discount what I say and try to pretend that I'm Haitian or I'm not American or whatever. No, I'm 100% Black American.
This video is for my fellow Africans, my fellow brethren. Listen, man, I'm trying to understand why is it so important for Africans to Africanize the so-called Black Americans? Why is it so important to you for Black Americans to be African, or for you, for us to say that we descended from Africans? Why is it so important for you for us to be Africans? We have nothing in common. Nothing at all. As a matter of fact, the so-called Black Americans have been in America for well over 500 years. And let's not forget the fact that there's a big group of so-called Black people that were already here before the slave trade. Yes, there were so-called Black people, copper-colored people, that was already here before the transatlantic slave trade. But why is it so important for you, or why is it so important to you, for the so-called Black Americans to be African? You guys are saying that, oh, you took our dances, you got your drums from us, your music came from us. You are trying to take credit for what Black Americans have created for themselves. Why is it important for you? We have nothing in common. Our DNA is not even the same. Our culture is not the same. According to you, the so-called Black Americans don't have culture. So if we don't have culture, why would you say that we came from you? If we came from you, shouldn't we share in your culture? Which we don't. We have no family connections on the continent of Africa. We have no links to Africa at all. And the Black Americans that do go to Africa, yes, certain tribes may adopt them as family, but they're not blood related. That's not their family. Okay? And I've yet, maybe one person I heard of that actually connected with somebody on the continent through DNA. Only one person I know of that did that. Okay? And he's a celebrity. Okay? So he's got the money to do what he did, right? But why is it so important for you, for Black Americans, to be African? Because we ain't thinking about you. We don't think about you, right? You know, now you may have the few that call themselves African, and they're trying to, like, they're basically kissing y'all butt, right? And they go in and say, okay, I'm going to get citizenship. But notice, they may get dual citizenship, but they ain't trying to give up their citizenship here in America. They ain't trying to do that. I haven't seen anybody that says, I'm giving up my citizenship because I'm African. As a matter of fact, I took the DNA test, right? And DNA doesn't really reveal your race or your ethnicity. You know, it just tells like where your ancestors travel, like or better yet, where your similar DNA match is found in the earth, right? But my highest DNA percentage in Africa is Mali, which is only 23%. That's my highest, okay? That's my highest link. My DNA link in Africa is Mali, and it's only 23%, right? So we're not the same. We are not the same. We took nothing from you. Everything that happens here in America comes from us. Now, you may have somebody like Carlos Santana, you know, because in his concerts, you know, he have, you know, Africans and he, you know, some tribal dances and whatnot. Yeah, Stevie Wonder, he might have done that. And I think Stevie Wonder went to Ghana and got his citizenship there, you know, but notice he didn't give up his citizenship here, right? He's got no blood relation there, none at all, right? And if he does, present that fact to me, present the evidence to me, I would love to see that. But we are not the same. Stop saying that.
South African says Black Americans are truly not African.
You're not African, you're a Black American. You're American before anything else. You are just a Black American who is not African American. It's really nice that you think that you are, but that's cute.
Wait. Before you go, for all my subscribers and philanthropists out there, I'm building a solar power community water bowl system in Nigeria. It's going to cost between $5,000 and $6,000. I'm trying to raise money. If you want to participate and help me build this solar power water system, please donate to the Cash App and put solar water in the notes. Solar water in the notes. I'll put PayPal, Stripe, and Zelle. Anyway, thank you. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out. Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.